Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Solving Standard. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is Big Red. This deck is really fun. Also, you can call it Treasure Red, but it's really pretty great. The plan is to play a lot of really nice cards like Wily Goblin, as you're going to see here, and just ramp into Sunbird's Invocation. You know, Wily Goblin into Chandra, or the Pirate's Trove, I believe it's called. The thing that makes 2 treasures for 4 mana. Either way, there's a fair amount of ways in this deck to actually play a turn 4 Sunbird's Invocation. Of course, there may also be ways for us to draw a bunch of lands and die to approach to the second sun, but that's the way it goes. We have a lot of hand duress so on effects in our sideboard to try to fight through it. Also possible, since they're playing Hieroglyphic Illumination, it's not approach, it's a cycling decks. So yes, it is a cycling deck. All right, there's a Magma Spray. So we have options here. I could tap out for a Glorybringer here and just try to kill our opponent very quickly. Alternatively, I don't do that, and I try to resolve Sunbird's Invocation next turn. It's a little riskier, but I think it's worth the risk because these cycling decks can really cycle pretty powerfully and have a lot of things going for them. See if we can bait our opponent into trying to eat our token. Nope. All right. All right. So on the one hand, I could actually wait a turn to play around Countervailing Winds or whatever the counterspell for cards in graveyard is called. But by then, our opponent will have cycled more cards in their graveyard anyways. Yeah, this is a risk. I think not just slamming Glorybringer there. And maybe it was correct to slam Glorybringer, hoping we draw another land. But the payoff for this is very high if it resolves. And it looks like we may actually have an opportunity to resolve it. Yeah, here we go. Moment of truth. All right, look at that. So yeah, our opponent's obviously going to make a lot of value off of these Drakes and cycling. You know, Drakehaven into cycling with all the land drops they want is exactly what the deck wants to do. Well, all right. Guess we're getting cast out instead. Fair enough. Maybe we should have just slammed the Glorybringer just so we'd have a threat. Not positive on that one. We'll just play it now. Yeah, in retrospect, it might have been better to do that. I mean, what would have happened is cast out would have hit our Glorybringer, but we would have done some damage to our opponent, and then we would have resolved Sunbird's Invocation. And there's a Fumigate. Yeah, maybe there was just no good. Maybe there was no good way through this one. Yeah, let's go ahead and cycle the Canyon Slough here. There's another Glorybringer. I'm actually going to keep the Sweltering Sun because, you know, it's tempting to just to cycle it away here, try to find action. But we have a play next turn with Glorybringer, and you know we might need to take out some Drakes here. Oh, that's bad for us. Our opponent actually has it all here. Well, I suppose we can abrade it. That's something. This card is so good. I actually really like this cycling deck. I think it's cool that it exists. You're going to get Countervailing Winded. I would not like to pay for that. Okay, there's a cut to ribbons. That's not exactly what we were looking for. But we do get to play Glorybringer at least. And attack. All right, our opponent has 2 cards in hand. Unfortunately, you know, maybe we should have played her. Maybe I just played this game really badly and should have just untapped and abraded that thing. Yeah, Chandra's pretty good here. Our opponent just wants to take it, huh? Okay, fair enough. All right, I'll play Chandra. Well, this is not the worst. I could play a Wily Goblin, huh? I don't think I want to. I think I just want to try to burn my opponent out. They're going to go to make Drakes. I'm going to depends how many drakes they can make. You know, we may have to Magma Spray one, but we might also just get a Sweltering. Okay, they're just going to play the cast out. Yeah, that's fine too. I won't lie, it's a pretty uphill battle right now with everything our opponent has, but we're hanging in there. And our opponent has 4 cards in hand now. They could flood out. It is possible. Also, this Cut the Ribbons might be a nice one. That's a lot of... Yeah, we might be able to get there with the back half of Cut the Ribbons. Settle on a Glorybringer, sure. Suppose so. They're just helping our Cut the Ribbons plan, that's all. Yeah, we're certainly going to force our opponent to either gain life or have countervailing wins, or we might just be able to burn them out with the ribbons. They only have 2 cards in hand. They can play Censor. Wow, okay, we're going to get a big ribbons off here actually. Or I can play another Chandra. Playing another Chandra is probably better. It forces them to interact with it, and they're not going to be able to do that until they untap at least. So this is, all in all, looking okay given how basically our opponent has everything they want, but we are fighting the good fight here. All right, there we go. They're down to 7. That actually means 1, 2. So we're not that far off with just the Cut the Ribbons. So now our opponent's just got to pass the turn back. I can try to burn. They can cast Censor. I think I still have to do it though. I mean, they only have 1 card in hand. We'll do this for do it for 4 here. And we have another one if this doesn't work, but depending, you know, what our opponent has. Wow, that's actually a disaster. Okay. Well, there's good and bad news here. Actually, there's just bad news. Basically, they topped it. They had to have exactly Censor there, because now they get enough tokens to kill Chandra, and there's another Censor in the graveyard for them to get the Magma Spray when we try to protect Chandra. Unless our opponent goes a little deep on it here, which unfortunately they did not. Well, or did they? Ooh, they did. In that case, let's Magma Spray a Drake. Okay, well, ribbons will get countered here. Yeah, they had to double Censor, I suppose. I was 1 step ahead of myself, even thinking I was going to tap it. But this means, in theory, we'll get to untap with Chandra and put our opponent down to 3. With another Cut Ribbons in hand. And our opponent out of Censors. All right, here we go. I can play a Braid, huh? It is tempting. I'm not, they can get back hieroglyphical. I'm not going to. Well, what do I want to do here? Let's say I cast it. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana open. That allows me to burn for 2 with this. That's how much I can burn with right now. I think I'm just going to not cast it. I'm just going to do the damage to my opponent, and I'm going to cut one of these Drakes. And then I'm going to play Noxious Gearhulk on the other Drake, because why not? So we might get to untap with Chandra. We might get to Sweltering Suns away the board, or we might just get a win with the Cut Ribbons. This has been a really interesting game, given that our opponent has, 3 Drake Havens, a Sarcophagus, and perfect mana, but we are fighting the good fight, and we might be able to get there. Our opponent has to choose what to do about this. If they go for the countervailing winds, Renewed Faith. Well, Renewed Faith is actually pretty good against us here. Yeah, Renewed Faith, very good, as it turns out. Interesting. They only went for the gain 2 life version, though. And we'll see if our Noxious Gearhulk resolves, because it, by itself, it messes up our opponent if it does resolve. Yeah. All right, so we'll use the ability. Chandra is going to bite the dust here. But then we get a swing in with Noxious Gearhulk. Yeah, this is... That Renewed Faith was actually quite the blowout. If I'd known they had Renewed Faith, clearly I would have just abraded the Sarcophagus. And there's a search. All right, well, let's see if we can get in there with a Gearhulk. We just need to run our opponent out of some cycling cards here. Can't do that, unfortunately. It's a lot of Drakes. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to get there. This, once it gets to this point, it's pretty difficult, but not impossible, but difficult. Yeah, we'll take out a couple Drakes. The question is, do I just want to play this now while I can? I think that I probably do. Maybe. Maybe not. The thing is, we know now, I mean, we can play it now, and we know that we can get in for 6 with it, put our opponent to 5. That might not be enough, though. That Renewed Faith. Oh, okay. That almost clicked. You can see there. That Renewed Faith was such a blowout. I think I'm actually going to resolve the... I think I'm going to get the Rekindling Phoenix out here. Our opponent won't be able to flip Search for Azcanta, which is nice. I'm trying to set this up for maximum Sweltering Suns, because at this point, Sweltering Suns is pretty much our only trump, so to speak. We can take out some number of Drakes with it. Okay, Chandra. Opponent has 2 cards in hand. They can play. They still have this in their graveyard to play. I mean, we're still fighting a pretty uphill battle here, but let's go ahead and play the Sweltering Suns first. Maybe I should have played the Chandra first to see if we could have baited out more Drakes. I'm not sure. The good news about this is our Rekindling Phoenix will also be back. We can play around... Well, I guess we can't really play around. We're playing around the Censor from hand, but they have Censor in hand. They can just cast it from the graveyard as well. This game's been close. We were very close a few turns ago, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get there now, but... Well, Chandra resolves. I would love to play that, however I cannot. Yeah, you think about this game, I opted to play to resolve a Sunbird's Invocation instead of an early Glorybringer, and think about how important that 4 life would be right now, because our opponent seems to have it all at this moment. Yeah, Rekindling Phoenix will be back, but it won't do much. In fact, Chandra is not going to be around either. We just needed our opponent to whiff at some point, and they, unsurprisingly, when you're cycling, they never did. Yeah, we're dead at this point, I think. I really did mess up early with that Glorybringer play. I think they came back and haunted us. That 4 life was pretty relevant. Well, fair enough. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can also flip Search here if they would like. It's a very close game, but it's easy to complain about our opponent drawing all these cycling cards now, but the truth is I messed up with that Glorybringer play early, and that it cost us. Captain Lannery Storm, okay. Well, may as well play it. I'd say our only path to victory at this point will be making enough mana to just go for a big lethal with the cut ribbons. Oh, we're going to get settled, huh? Well, on the one hand, getting settled there is bad. On the other hand, we do have enough mana now to go for a 9-point ribbons, right? We have to get through a censor to do it. Does our opponent just have lethal on Drakes? Let's see here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, they don't have lethal on Drakes. They have 9 Drakes. They have 2 cards in hand. So if we can somehow dodge our opponent having anything, do we have enough? We have 4, 9, 10, 11. Oh no, so we need to draw land or our opponent gets to censor it. Well, here goes. This is where I draw Canyon Slough. All right, untap land. Oh, okay, well, we're going to try. I have no confidence in this working, but we are going to try. All right, here we go. 9-point cut ribbons. I don't deserve this if we have it. It is very unlikely we're going to get there, but we are going to try. Our opponent has enough mana to draw a lot of cards. Yep, Azcanta. No way we're going to get there, right? What did they take? Renewed Faith. Well, that'll do it, unfortunately. Okay, fair enough. Let's move on to sideboard. Maybe I'll play a little better here. All right, I believe we want Direfleet Daredevil, actually. I believe I want Doomfall, and I believe I want Duresses. We just want to attack our opponent's hand at every opportunity here. We want to get rid of most of our removal. Okay, what's this look like? This gets us down to 62. We do want a Braids for the hieroglyphic illumination, and we want a couple Sweltering Suns, to be honest. Maybe one fewer cut ribbons is reason. Well, cut ribbons was very good. I mean, it gave us some chances there, but I think the Phoenix is actually not great. We do have to have threats, so that's a thing. I don't think Phoenix is great given that they can make Drakes, but I guess in theory we're going to keep them off of Drakehaven. That's the plan here. I like this, but we need to cut something, huh? I'm going to cut in a Braid. The deck doesn't play, at least I don't think it plays that many Abandoned Sarcophagus, so I'd like to play first. I don't know that I can keep this. Maybe I can. We can cycle the Canyon Slough. This is probably good. Maybe it's not very good. It's fine. I mean, this hand puts a little bit of pressure on, but it doesn't really meaningfully interact. And is a 6-card hand going to be better? And it might have Duress. I'm going to give it a shot. I don't know if this is correct or not. Yeah, it's got some stuff we want. This is good in the later game. We do have some mana ramp here, so we're basically, we're 1 card off of the hand becoming good, right? If it had Chandra instead of this 4th land, this hand would be insane, right? So every hand has to have something go right. Maybe we're just going to draw Chandra. This Direfleet Captain is going to range, or Daredevil is going to range from not very good to very good, depending on what our opponent's early plays are. Field of Ruin, there's Azcanta protection at least. Unfortunately, drawing land was not what we wanted. Well, that was the big turn right there. We needed to draw something, and we did not. I think I just have to play this for the threat. Yeah, I mean that was it. We drew 2 lands on our first 2 draws after we kept a land heavy hand. So, and that's magic. We're gonna get punished with the Drake Haven here. There's a treasure map right on time. All right, well, yeah. Imagine we draw that treasure map last turn, or you know, and then this turn we get a scry, maybe we get to resolve something. Now we're basically at the mercy of our opponent here. No more lands, deck. All right, there's Sunbird's Invocation. It's pretty solid. See if our opponent gets baited into settling the wreckage here. They do not. Well, decision time. Do I try to run out the Sunbird's Invocation into a Censor? I'm very unsure what to do. I want to flip the treasure map as soon as possible. You know, I think I'm going to hold on to it. All right, there's another land I really wanted. Oh, we're still in combat damage here. Okay, sure. Okay, well, we're going to go in on the treasure map here, and then Sunbird's Invocation, by the way, would have absolutely made a difference in that last game. And, you know, maybe our opponent didn't have an answer to it there, but the odds of them not having a cast out or a countervailing winds or a Censor there are pretty low. And taking a turn off our treasure map, which is a pretty key card in the matchup, is probably not correct. So this way we will get to activate treasure map again. I'm not very hopeful about our odds in this game. We kept a risky hand and did not pay off, but we are not dead yet. Anyway, there's Search, but we do have a Field of Ruin for it. It's a Glorybringer. Sure, let's keep that on top. I can play around countervailing winds here. So we may as well do that. This way, yeah, we're playing around countervailing winds with this play and putting pressure onto the board and get to flip our treasure map next turn. You know, we're probably just trading Glorybringer for the Drakes here, but our opponent at least has to respect removal, or they don't. But maybe this was the turn to just play the Invocation. I don't know. Very well could have been. Now I put our opponent to 11. We had to flip the treasure map next turn. We do have the cut ribbons as a plan later on in the game here. Search is still not going to flip, so that's good. All right, let's see what we can get with our treasure map. Our opponent also might cast it out here, which I guess at least would give us a window to cast Sunbird's Invocation. Certainly not a fun matchup. Better if you draw any of the all the hand disruption we boarded in, but not quite doing that either. All right, there's a cast out. Well, our opponent has 4 cards in hand. We get a Scry here. Canyon Slough that we do not need. All right, well, this is what we played for, is to resolve Sunbird's Invocation and hope it's good enough. So that's what we're going to try to do. Got our opponent down to 9. And they were going to cast out something, so we did at least play to, you know, make it so that what they casted out is not Sunbird's Invocation. So we have accomplished that. Whether or not that's good enough, I don't know, but That is what we wanted to do here. And they just have another one. So that's just the way it goes. Well, okay, I guess we have another one as well. Yes, we can keep trying. First Sunbird's Invocation doesn't work, try again. Here's a Renewed Faith. That's not great for us. All right, so that will take care of our Daredevil. Our opponent's going to have several cards and be able to flip the Search here, but you know, we don't really have a choice. We just have to play Sunbird's Invocation and hope that it's good enough. For what it's worth, next turn we can cut a Drake, and then we can activate Field of Ruin, take care of Azcanta. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. Maybe they're bad. Okay, they're going digging right now for the cast out, so this is a good sign for them, because they obviously found it. All right, well, that's 23 cards in. We all 3 of the 4 cast outs, so not great for us, but there's a Doomfall. All right, so let's go ahead and start by Field of Ruining Azcanta here. Then we will cut the Drake so we can get on in there with the Wily Goblin. And now we will Doomfall our opponent. So they have 3 cards, and if they're bad, we're not in the worst position here. We don't have a second black mana. They are not bad. In fact, they kill us. I guess we have to take the Torrential Gearhulk. Well, our opponent both had all the right answers and a handful of very good cards, so that's pretty difficult to overcome. It was close, you know, if they don't hit cast out there and then we get a Doom, you know, we get to cut and Doomfall with Sunbird's Invocation up, you know, things can go a little differently there. All right, Captain Lannery's Storm is not the worst. That'll give us our second black mana for the ribbons here. We're gonna get settled. That is what it is. We get the treasure regardless, though. Renewed Faith is the real blowout. I can't believe this card is good in Standard, but man, is it good. Our opponent may not actually even care to settle the wreckage here. The relevant thing for us is we get the treasure out of it. Not that it particularly matters. I don't really see how we're going to win this game, but we do have a treasure. All right. So we know they have Settle and one other. If the other is not good, maybe we can do something here. I'm not going to... You know, there's a Noxious Gearhulk. It's probably not even worth playing because they have Settled the Wreckage. On the other hand, it forces the settle, and we're not anywhere close to a position to actually, you know, ribbons them out, so we may as well play our cards. If our opponent wished for a few turns here, maybe we can make something happen, but getting Treasure Map and 2 Sunbird's Invocations casted out was pretty rough. Oh, look at this, though. A Duress. All right, now we might be in business. Finally, the sideboard shows up. The Doomfall into Duress here. Let's see what our opponent's got. If this forces them, if nothing else, to go in on the cycling and make a bunch of drakes, or they just have negate. I just drew it all. Oh, frustrating. All right, our opponent has one card in hand. And it's a cycler. Oh my gosh, they actually just had everything. No whiffs ever. All right, I think we're probably pretty dead here. Yeah. And we put in a good fight, but our opponent drew pretty well in this one. If they don't, if they don't have that as content for cast out on the exact turn they do, then it's a turn trigger Hulk. Insult to injury here. Yeah, that'll be game. Yeah, if they don't hit that Sunbird's Invocation, we get to grind out a lot of value with it over these last few turns, but no such luck. Yeah, well, the odds of our opponent now dying are very low. This cycling deck takes a while to kill, but we died a few turns. We died basically the turn our duress failed to resolve. That's what happened. But these white-blue decks, the control decks in this new format are so good. Between Approach of the Second Sun and this deck, which is just nearly impossible for anything but an aggro deck to take down, and even the aggro decks have to fight through, I guess, Renewed Faith of all things. Looking at New Standard, if you like these type of decks, they're going to be viable. Glacial Fortress, Drowned Catacomb decks are going to be good. Basically, I guess the better way to put that is Search for Azcanta decks are going to be extremely good. So, this card is insane, but I mean, it's just good in Modern, good in Legacy. Another cast out. Might as well get the fourth one in there. That makes sense. It was a land. All right. All right. Opponent's down to 12. Fortunately, we're dead in, probably one turn here, so we don't have to suffer too much longer. Doomfall, huh? All right. Let's make our opponent sack a creature. And maybe they have no cycling cards in hand, so they won't have any drakes to make. Okay, maybe they don't. Maybe their next 4 won't either. What entered? Oh, a cycling card entered. Okay, well. You'd like to cycle, make a Drake. All right, good games. Close. Both of those were close. Game 1, I think, was winnable if I played a little better, but that was rough. The Search for Azcanta decks are not the matchups we necessarily want to play, but good match.